I don't want an affair child, but my family is pressuring me.
Oh, boy.
Trigger warning, mention of substances and assault. So I, 27 male, was in a very high stress situation because of my family and business problems for months, and I failed to deal with it in a healthy way. My fault. I was a substance user during my college days. When I asked my girlfriend, 24 female, for a date, she said, I would have said yes if you weren't an addict.
Oh.
I said, give me a chance. I will leave everything. We started going on dates, and in 6 months' time, I was no longer a regular user.
Right.
Boom.
Nice.
My whole relationship was built on this promise. Oh, God, I'm waiting for the other shoe to drop. By the way, this comes from Deleted. And if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OK Storytime subreddit. So whenever my friends would invite me for a party, they made sure that there were no substances around. But at a party over a month ago, it turned out there were. I went alone because my girlfriend was visiting her mother. And as I mentioned earlier, everything going on in my life had been wearing me down. When I saw the devil's lettuce, I thought, just trying it once might help me unwind for at least one night. And like a fool, I did it after being clean for 6 years.
That's rough.
After that, I didn't stop there. I ended up drinking too much as well. Later that night, my former friends with benefits, 27 female, approached me in a way I wasn't expecting. And eventually, I made another poor choice.
That's really sad. Like, obviously, cheated, never okay. But, like, it's really sad that this person relapsed.
Yeah.
And made poor choices because of it. Really sad.
I'm not offering excuses. I fully admit that it was my own bad decisions that put me in this situation.
Yeah,
I just wanted to explain the whole context of what happened. At least OP is owning up to it.
Yeah.
I told my girlfriend everything the next time I saw her. But when I told her, she told me that she already knew everything.
Whoa.
What I didn't know was that a fair partner recorded everything and sent it to my girlfriend.
Man.
Oh,
man.
Do you think this was a trap?
This was a trap.
It's a trap.
It's a trap. She did so in an attempt to break up our relationship.
Well, she succeeded.
Do you think OP would date you after that?
How?
Some days later, girlfriend gave me a chance.
Wow.
With some conditions.
Wow.
She just likes a project.
Which were reasonable, and I agreed. Wow. Man, I don't know if I would give this guy another chance.
Yeah.
Everything was going fine. Oh, God. Come on, dude. Come on, please. Until one day. My affair partner came home and dropped a bomb on us. She informed us that she is pregnant with my child. Oh!
Dang, she successfully... That was the most successful trap I've ever seen.
Dang, dude, she was ready.
She baby trapped you
fertile.
in one go.
Eggs were on the counter, ready to be fertilized.
Dude, this was more successful than she had hoped.
Oh my God, she's the fastest gun in the West. That girl don't miss.
Whoa.
She is a target, and she's moving into that little bullet. I took her to a gynecologist, and I found out that, yes, she is indeed pregnant. I just don't know if the child is mine or not. Honestly, we shouldn't accept her word for it.
Yeah, let's check.
Maiden McDonald says paternity test.
Big
100%.
time.
It'll take a few more weeks to get a prenatal paternity test to confirm who the father is. A fair partner is telling me that according to the timeline, I am the father, but I am not taking any chances. I have told a fair partner that if the child is mine, I will pay her the child support and I will make sure the child has a good life, but I will give up my parental rights and I will never be anything to the child and her. I have told her even if my girlfriend leaves me, she and the child will be nothing to me.
I don't like that. She should be nothing to you, but your kid? I think OP. You
made a choice.
You made a choice.
I don't know.
And you even owned up to that choice. You're like, I made a mistake.
I mean, but some people aren't going to be good parents, and like it's better having a non-existent parent than a good parent, but it is still a bad reflection of OP.
But I think that decision needs to be like, I'm not going to be a good parent, and not like, oh, well, my girlfriend doesn't want me to parent this kid. That's mine.
Yeah. In her last attempt to get me, she told my and her parents that she is pregnant. Oh, she is pulling out all the stops.
Dang, man.
My parents started guilt tripping me, saying that I will be abandoning my potential child, which is true. When I didn't budge, they started threatening that they will remove me from their will.
Oh.
They started reminding me how it will be a huge loss. I told them that I am doing very well, and in a decade, I will not feel the loss. So when they saw that I can't be financially blackmailed, they told the rest of the family, even the extended one, except my grandparents and my brother, everyone is against me. I have told everyone again and again that I will not leave my girlfriend, and that means the child has to go away from my life. I don't think that's true.
I don't think that's true.
You can
And I
still
don't think
be with your girlfriend.
should be asking that.
Yeah, but you can be with your girlfriend and co-parent with this woman, but she does sound terrible.
Megan McDonald says, I think he needs substance abuse therapy before getting anywhere near parenting a child. I agree with that.
Agreed.
Absolutely agree. But I think also he just needs that in general.
I know the child is innocent, but I can't be the child's father. Even if my girlfriend leaves me, I don't think I can be a good father for the child due to the circumstances of conception. Why can't they understand I may grow to resent the child? This has created a rift in my family. I want some outside perspective on how to mend the rift. Any suggestions? Okay. So I would love to know from chat because, none of us are parents.
Yeah.
So obviously we don't know, but I know if I knocked a fair maiden up that was not that fair of a maiden, so maybe an unfair maiden.
Unfair maiden.
I think I would still feel a responsibility to raise
I think so.
the child in some way.
I get what he's
or
saying.
be
I
there.
won't be a good dad, but it's like, how do you're not even trying?
Yeah. And I don't think that would mean I would necessarily be with the unfair maiden in a relationship.
No.
But I would work to co-parent with the unfair maiden. But also I want to be a parent. So that's like, I think that as Sally Tove says, do not force being a parent.
I don't think you should be forced to be a parent, but I think also there's like, I guess
There's
is saying that he would be
responsibilities.
there is responsibilities.
And he is saying that
He would
pay.
be financially responsible, which is good. And some people are saying about like him being under the influence. That is a great point. The way he said it, it did sound like he was like, it was cheating. Like he didn't say it like it was unconsensual.
Yeah. I do think she took advantage of him.
I do think so.
I do think she took
absolutely
advantage of him.
think
I
so.
don't think he views it as anything more than that, but I think maybe on some technicalities, like if I think we could maybe say that yes, she did take advantage of him. Not even technicalities. I think she did take advantage of him.
I believe so. Yes, she planned all of that. That was a trap.
He's not interpreting it as that. I understand that no one should force to be a parent because like that could cause damage to a child and it would be bad for the child. But I do think if you knock someone up and you have a kid, I think you are shirking a responsibility by not parenting that child. And yes, although unless
you're putting the child up for adoption, there are other options. But I think like when one parent is like, yeah, I'm taking care of this kid, and you're like, but he is doing he is providing financially, so that is good.
The blind one says men don't always process that they can be taken advantage of or violated when they're impaired.
I think that's a great point.
No, I think that is a great point, but I also feel like that's like though that might be technically true. I don't think he's like carrying the baggage of what that means in how he's talking about this.
Yeah.
And Nicole H says she was sober enough to set up a video instead of the girlfriend. Yeah, I think she might have been sober, honestly,
which
is
like
makes it
so
even
icky,
more
so
effed.
icky. I think it's tricky because I think on the one hand, like looking at it, he is providing for the kid. Anonymous says the way you're shaming is the equivalent of shaming a woman for giving up a child for adoption. I wasn't seeing it that way because I don't think that anyone should be ashamed for putting a child up for adoption when they know they can't parent the child. So I guess like that does make sense. That comparison makes sense.
Yeah, but I think giving up a child for adoption is a really hard thing
it's super
to do.
hard, yeah.
It's not an easy task because this is and again, I've never been in there, but I think as someone who wants to be a father, I would find it very hard to give up my kid for adoption, even though, I might not be ready or whatever. Like I feel it's just, to say it's not to say it's not a hard decision, I think is not true, because there's some level of responsibility that you are now giving to someone else. At least in America, the foster care system is not that great. And so when you are giving up a kid for adoption, there is causing like putting into question whether you can like find a good person. But you can. There's like parents that you can find.
Miss Jaber says don't force people to parent. Child support, yes, but not forced to parent.
Yeah.
Which I think makes sense. Yeah, I mean, I don't think that the mom is going to be a very good parent either.
Yeah.
She'll probably just blackmail other people to raise your kid for her.
I think also there's like kind of a different interpretation of the story, which I understand because it is unclear. But I think like a lot of people are interpreting this as like he was SA'd.
Yeah.
Which could be true. But
I think
he doesn't see it that way, which is why I
think
think we were having that kind of disconnect in the beginning. But I think that she did take advantage of him and he just isn't seeing it that way.
Yeah. But let us know what you think in the comments. This is obviously a very hot button and an emotional issue. You know, like people are going to disagree with this. Bianca says, I disagree with that as someone who was taken advantage of while under the influence, right? And I think this is the thing about a story like this. There's a lot of gray, right? There's a lot of gray, and
especially
it's very dependent on the person.
He's in, like, he doesn't see it that way. And it's like
also,
a lot of people...
It's very dependent also on how under the influence you are too, right?
Exactly. We don't know.
One beer is different than like 15, right? So it's like there's so much gray here. And there's a lot of people that have experienced like this. So again, please this is a chance for discussion. We don't have all the answers, but we got some more comments. And we got an update coming up too. Your girlfriend is seriously staying with you after this. Man, I hope she wakes up and leaves. No good can come from staying with a cheating regular user, and now a child is in the mix. What an effing nightmare for her. In reply, notice how everything came back with an apologist backstory where he took very little responsibility for his own actions, and now the child is going to suffer for his actions. I feel sorry for the child to have such a selfish person as a father. Unfortunately, even if he classifies himself as only an immoral baby juice donor, he'll still leave a void in the child's life and cause further pain for decades to come. If there is one thing I found out in life, that is that addicts and liars cannot be counted on. They'll always take the selfish, easy way out for themselves at the expense of others. I don't know. That feels a little bit too harsh. Someone can struggle with addiction and still make it through the other side.
I think so.
Comment 2, aside from that, I wouldn't be with anyone willing to not be in their child's life. It says a lot about a person. And there is an update.
I think that, like, my last thought, I think OP needs to sit with this, maybe go to therapy and see how he feels about this situation. Because if his reasoning is like, I don't want to be in this kid's life because my girlfriend doesn't want me to, think about that. If it's, I don't want to be in this kid's life because I have very complicated feelings about how it happened and how I feel like maybe taken advantage of, then it's like, yeah, don't be in this kid's life because you felt taken advantage of.
Yeah.
This kid was like came out of a traumatic situation maybe for you.
And I also
but I think it's like, where did it come from?
I also want to be careful for projection onto this story because he is not saying that he was taken advantage of. He is kind of like saying that, like, you know, like the obviously got taken advantage of with the recording and stuff, but he's not saying like, you know,
I did
SA
not
or
consent
anything.
to this.
He's not saying that. So I'd be careful to speak on behalf of this guy.
And thank you all for sharing your thoughts in the chat. Right? It's a hard topic to talk about, and I appreciate it.
All right. But we got an update. So a couple of hours ago, someone asked about my situation. So I thought to give an update and a few responses. First of all, except for 2 comments, each and every comment helped me, both negative and positive ones. So thanks for that. To the first dude that irritated me, to you, I want to say, yes, I read your comment that I don't deserve my girlfriend and she should leave me. You don't need to reach me everywhere possible to say this. I read it once. To the second dude, I'm quoting a line I read in one Reddit post for you. You only have 2 brain cells competing for a 3rd place. You said I should leave my girlfriend and get in a relationship with my affair partner because she must have something which my girlfriend lacks. That's why I cheated. And now the reason for the update. I am the father.
Oof.
But it is in the best interest of both me and the child that I am not involved in the child's life. Because of all the comments, I thought about it long and hard and came to the conclusion that no biological father is better than a biological father who resents.
I think that's true.
I think that's true. I will still pay for the child support. My girlfriend also advised me that I should also create a college fund for the child. If there's something else I can do, then you can give me some advice.
Therapy.
During my IC, it has been revealed that I have developed borderline psychopathic tendencies due to my childhood and my work ethic. To be honest, I always suspected this. I always had some degree of reduced empathy, risk-taking, and overly high self-regard when it comes to people who are not my family and girlfriend, so I hope you can see the dangers here. Now, let's come to my family. The situation is not right. I am on low contact with everyone except my grandparents and brother. It is my sister who has cut me the deepest, though. 2 years ago, when she got pregnant, both she and her husband decided to terminate the child because they were not emotionally prepared. It was their words. If my parents got to know about this, all heck would have broken loose. It was I who kept her secret. It was I who helped both of them to get a pregnancy termination as smoothly as possible without anyone knowing. Now, when I needed her support, she is saying it will be amazing to have a nephew or niece, and she will be an amazing aunt.
Oh.
She is treating me like this now. Our relationship will never be the same
That's
again.
tough.
Especially
That is really
after...
tough. Yeah, helping her. That's really
Yeah.
tough.
Yeah.
Yeah, and she's not like seeing that this is a super complicated situation for OP.
Yeah. Now, why a fair partner did this? We were friends since we were 13, and we became friends with benefits since we were 16. Somewhere down the line, she started liking me romantically, but I never saw her that way. I should have nipped the problem in the bud back then, but I was too selfish back then. Then my girlfriend came into my life, and I thought that it was too long. Her feelings would be long gone by now, but now has come to bite me in the back. Why she thought that by doing this we can be together, I don't know. I think substances have addled her mind, or she is suffering from some serious mental problems, or she's obsessed with me. By the way, you can listen to full episodes of stories just like this. Go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or your favorite podcast app and search OK Storytime. There's another relevant update, but let's discuss. Now let's come to the most important person in my life, my girlfriend. Some people were saying I should set her free and let her be happy. I'm not holding her captive, neither am I forcing her to be with me. She is free to do what she wants. I even told her if all of this gets too much and she decides to leave me, I will not hold it against her, and I will understand why she did so, and there will be no negative feelings from my side. She chose to stay with me. She also goes to therapy. I'm doing everything possible to make sure she doesn't suffer emotional torture from my family, except my grandparents and brother. A fair partner, a fair partner's family, and a fair partner's friends. Till now, I've been successful. She also has got close to my grandmother and her sister. It's good to see that she has a good support system. Now on to the comments saying that I was spicy, relatedly, harmfully acted, right? So this is what we've been talking about, right? This is the essay. That night when AP made her move, I remember saying, no, it's not right, but she kept persisting and eventually I gave in. If it was 6 years ago, I could have resisted against AP's advances. Now I'm thinking, has my tolerance decreased or did I really cheat? I really don't know, but one thing is sure, that I still betrayed her that night by doing substances. Any suggestions?
Which I think this is a really important thing because he was assaulted.
And I see his individual counseling. That makes it sound more... like assault.
I mean, he said no.
Like he wasn't.
So that's
yeah.
assault. I think before it was a little bit more murky because we didn't know that. I think this, I think it is is a completely different situation.
Yeah.
When you know he was assaulted.
Yeah, and he still is owning up to the part of I did substances, which was against my relationship.
But also he's
I feel
dealing
like
with a relapse.
But I feel like the.
Knowing that he was assaulted.
She sounds like she is an abuser in this situation.
Absolutely. And she should, this is completely not okay. A lot of people were saying press charges. I think so. I think he probably, finds that a little bit hard to think about because it's so many years down the line, but absolutely press charges. That was assault. And I think it does change a lot of my feelings on the story of like staying with a child after assault, because I absolutely believe that women who are assaulted should not have to bear that the child of their assaulter. Mm-hmm. So I do not think that he, should
have to bear that.
But child. I think when we originally started the story, he made it sound like it wasn't, like it was more consensual, which is, I had a different thought on that because, like if you have a consensual relationship, I think it is this is not about this story, but like in other examples, we've had people who have consensual spicy sleep. And then the husband, like the father is like, well, I don't want to be this kid's parent, and dips. And that's, not great. But this is a completely different situation where you have someone who has been assaulted and probably has a lot of feelings that he seemingly is repressing because he didn't even see it as assault. Yeah. And saying, I don't want to parent that child. I resent them. And it's like, you have.
Because it was a child of assault.
You connect them to that assault. So I think that is like super relevant.
Yeah, I agree.
Super relevant information that OP clearly didn't even process.
That was a rough story. We got one more.
Oof.
Oof.
I outed my sister so my parents won't hate my fiance.
I don't know how that would work.
Oh, no.
Jeez.
I, 27 male, live with my 27 female fiance, Annie, and recently my sister Mia came to live with us. Mia's never actually told me she was sapphic, but I've always kind of knew she was. By the way, this comes from Throwaway. Am I the a-hole here? And if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OKStorytime subreddit.
And sapphic means?
Lesbian.
Okay.
So, anyways, or just, well, it's women who like women.
Yeah.
Anyways, my parents asked if Mia could move in with us because she can't see her friends since they are high risk. I agreed, and Mia has been living with us. I've started to notice changes in her behavior around Annie. Mia has always been shy about her body and at most will wear knee-length shorts on a very hot day, even with family. Now she's basically always...
Knee-length shorts, huh?
Yeah. Now she's basically always in sports bras and booty shorts. Seems odd, but I haven't lived with my parents in 6 years, so I don't know if she changed her home habits during this time I was gone. I just brushed it off as a self-esteem boost and was proud of her. Then she got especially close to Annie. I assumed it was just admiration, but then it got super weird.
Uh-oh, is the sister crushing on OP's fiance?
She was sticking even closer to Annie, and it wasn't like she was butting in on us when we were being romantic, but it was like she was trying to prevent romantic moments from happening.
She was cock blocking.
By trying to direct Annie somewhere else.
She was... No, I'm not gonna...
She would also leave the room or look sad when we kissed. I got
That
the
is
feeling...
so weird.
That's weird. I got the feeling she had a crush on Annie. I confronted her about her feelings and told her that it was fine if she had a crush, but she was taking it too far, and she denied it. Now my sister knows I know she's a sapphic because a few years ago, I sent her one of those if ex-friend was ever more than friend texts. She denied that they were more than friends. I told her that I always will support her and moved on. Things would stop for a while and then pick up. We would have this conversation, then the cycle would repeat. Annie figured out that Mia probably had a crush on her and was uncomfortable by the entire situation.
Especially with them living together. It's a little rough.
A few weeks ago, Annie kind of sister-zoned Mia and things just escalated. She
escalated after being sister-zoned?
Yikes.
You're like a sister to me.
She openly flirted with Annie to the point where Annie didn't even want to be at home.
Oh, gooch guarding says, okay, Billy time.
We couldn't do anything romantic at home because she might see and start openly bawling in her room. Mia was very cold to me and always snapping at me for small reasons. At this point, I feel like it's like...
Dude, kick her out. You got to kick her out.
We
She's
got to
being
move
weird.
out. This is inappropriate. I had enough when she made breakfast for Annie and her using the food I specifically bought for myself, and Annie walked out crying. I pulled her aside and told her that she needs to stop right now or I will punt her out. She acted like she didn't know what I was talking about again. So now I'm definitely punting her out. The only problem is my parents. I can just punt out my little sister and not tell them why. If I tell the truth, my sister will be outed. But if I tell a half-truth, like she made my fiance uncomfortable, they'll hate my fiance because I can't actually explain what my sister did to make her uncomfortable without outing her.
Can we just say like, hey, we want to have our own space?
She's interfering in our relationship.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
She's
You absolutely do not
gooch-guarding
have
us.
to out your sister.
No, you could just say she's gooch guarding.
Yeah, I think you could
cramping
say
our
we're trying
sexual
to have
style.
a relationship as adults, and
We
she's
wanna walk around
interfering in
naked.
our relationship.
Yeah.
You don't have to. Do not out the really never.
I think there's a way to say this without outing her.
There's really never any excuse for outing someone. My sister deserves a chance to come out, and this isn't like I accidentally outed her either. Is getting herself outed a consequences of her action, or would I be the a-hole? You would be the a-hole. She's the a-hole for interfering and making your fiance uncomfortable.
I don't think it's necessary information for your parents to know.
I just also don't think it's necessary, too. Yeah.
Like, you could just say, hey, like, we're trying to have more intimate moments, and my sister's getting in the way. So I think to make our relationship and marriage, or soon-to-be marriage, work, she can't live with us anymore.
Yeah.
I think that's normal.
I think that's normal. And if they say, what? Who cares? Edit, I'm just going to clarify why I can't say that the living arrangement wasn't working out. Like I said in the beginning, my parents are high risk, so she cannot see her friends at all. So if it just wasn't working out, they tell me to suck it up until the school year starts. And then you say no. You just say no. You put your foot down. You say it like, we cannot live together. If I didn't, I'd be the heartless knucklehead who doesn't want to let my sister have a social life. Then be that. I like, honestly, just be that. They'll get over it.
I think they'll get over it.
I think they'll get over it.
Yeah.
Second, I don't think they'd believe me in the first place because I've never had a problem with my sister. They just assume I was covering for Annie. Then be clear. You say like, hey, she's been like really rude to me, blah, blah, blah. I don't care. Figure it out. You don't have to out her.
No.
Final verdict, not the a-hole. Relevant comments said, you're the a-hole if you out Mia. You can, in fact, punt your sister out without telling your parents why. Keep it to a simple, the living arrangement wasn't working out. Feel free to ask Mia if she wants to share why. Perfect.
Boom.
TBH, I really want to know what you mean by openly flirting and bawling if she saw you being romantic. Because this whole story sounds hinky. And it's really weird that you've basically been pestering your sister for years to tell you she's a sapphic. OP says, the living arrangement wasn't working out. Wouldn't be an okay answer either. Yes, it would.
Is it weird
What?
to send that text basically like, hey, is blank more than a friend? Is that weird?
Not necessarily.
I mean, I'm trying to think because like,
Depends on how many, if you like kept pushing it and.
yeah, I feel like it's a little, what? I mean, like, if it was like a straight relationship, you would say like, oh, is that person more than a friend?
It depends on how I said it, how he said
I
it.
feel like it's normal to be like, is that person more than a friend in a straight relationship?
If you have a
So-
close relationship with your sibling, which it seems like they originally did.
I mean, they're living together, so they must. So I feel like it would be
I don't think
normal.
it's necessarily strange.
I think I think you would say the same thing in a straight relationship. I don't think it's weird to say it for a same sex relationship.
I've always been okay living with my sisters, so they would assume it was my fiance who didn't like living with her. Even if I insist it was me, I'd still be the heartless knucklehead who prevented his sister from having a social life. Another user says you can decline to continue the conversation if they won't accept your answer. If your parents are this pushy and unreasonable, it's unlikely that outing your sister would do much good. OP says, I mean, then I'd be hated. Any other time, I would have taken that bullet for my sister, but based on how she was acting, I'm not willing to have my parents angry at me because of her. You'd be I don't care, honestly. You'd be the a-hole if you outed your sister.
Yeah.
Stop making excuses. Just tell them that it's not working out. It's not working out, talk to Mia if you want to know why.
Yeah.
Stop it. But still, you can just say she cries all the time and we can't parent her or something. You don't need to take it as far as you're saying you want to.
Yeah, agreed.
I agree.
I feel like OP just
wants to out her. That's what I'm saying. He's like, there's no other way.
I think
there is.
It almost feels like he's like, I don't want to say it. I don't think this is necessarily true, but it's like, it almost feels like he's using it as an excuse to out her.
Yeah, it's weird.
I don't think it's necessarily true, though.
There are a million ways to say you can't live with her without it being, I can't live with her because she's a sapphic that apparently has a crush on my fiance she doesn't want to own up to. Yeah. OP says, believe me. Also, what you could do is say, like, she's been really rude to, I mean, I guess you don't want to bring your fiance into this. But I think that even if you said I think that she's got this crush on my fiance and she's been really rude and making my fiance uncomfortable, I don't know if they would believe you. I think they would be like, if you didn't have proof of that, I think they would do the same thing. Yeah. So I feel like it doesn't matter.
It doesn't accomplish what you're trying to do here.
Exactly. Just say something else. OP says, believe me, I'm genuinely thinking of a way to not out her and not get hated by my parents or have my fiance hated by my parents. I don't think you're thinking that hard.
I think you got two brain cells to rub together.
If I say she cries all the time, they would assume I'm doing something to her because she doesn't cry with them. We can't parent is an excuse because she's 21. There's no parenting involved. Of course, I could always lie that she did something else, but she'd tell my parents that was a lie, and then I'd be hated or have to out her. Well, then, I don't know. You tell her if you don't fess up to this. There are other ways. Yeah. Another commenter says, if you out her, she's also going to say that's a lie. OP says, I mean, she can't really lie about this because there were many signs pointing to her being a sapphic. This would just be the nail in the coffin. I don't like this guy. I don't like him. Another commenter says, stick to finding a different way to say it. It really seems like you want to tell them.
It's real weird.
Because you keep circling back to it in your responses. Just because you hadn't had an issue with her when you guys lived at your parents' house or whatever doesn't mean that can't change as an adult. Now living your own lives, little habits and things add up. Like with her seemingly trying to ruin your romantic moments. You could definitely say you guys aren't getting the privacy or personal space you want with her
Which
being
is
there.
literally what we were saying before.
Which is true.
That is totally normal. Your parents would understand that. You're like, yeah, like, I mean, when you guys were living in here, our spicy sleep went down way.
Yeah. And maybe she's confused about where she stands with things. Maybe she knows she likes girls, but isn't sure where she stands on it, which would add to her being crazy. And her being crazy and apparently erratic is why you don't want her there. She's overly emotional, and I don't know why, and we can't handle it. There's another reason. Your reasoning doesn't have to be you saying anything remotely close to her being a sapphic. You're very concerned about your parents hating you, but haven't, that I've seen, mentioned how much your sister would be affected if you tell your parents you can't live with her because of her crazy sapphic actions? Opie says, I don't want to tell them. I'm sorry if it seemed like I did. However, compared to being hated by my parents, I'd rather tell them. What are you talking? Your parents are not going to hate you. I mean, unless your parents are unreasonable, which is all the more reason to not tell them your sister is sapphic. Unless your parents are crazy unreasonable, then just say it's not working out, and maybe they'd be annoyed at you. There's no reason they would hate you for saying you want to have your own place with your partner.
Yeah, and also, like, are you going to risk your parents hating your sister
potentially
like, well, if
they're
not chill with her being
and has he talked to her at all?
I don't think so.
I feel like he hasn't talked to her at all. Any other time I would have taken the bullet for my sister, but right now I'm not even sure I view her as my sister. I think the personal space is a good suggestion, but my sister would deny it, and that would lead to a whole can of drama. The overly emotional would also be off with them because there would have to be something that would make her emotional. Then you say, I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
Maybe it's something at school. I don't know.
Just say that you want your space.
Just try it. You're like assuming so many things.
Yeah.
Which would lead back to me doing something to make her cry all the time. My parents overreact and are super pessimistic, which is precisely the reason she had to come here in the first place. My sister wouldn't really be affected by telling them, except from them being overly annoying. My parents are not closet guard and are very supportive, but they'd be surprised. I don't care. It is not your right to tell them. I literally don't care about any of your excuses.
Yeah.
I don't care. Yeah, your sibling is being weird and making your fiance uncomfortable, which is not okay. So kick her out. Kick her out. I don't care. There is no reason to out someone. I don't care. This person makes me so annoyed.
Yeah.
My sister is a bit shy, so I think she'd be uncomfortable with them being excessively supportive. Another commenter says, a couple of questions. How old is Mia? And what kind of texts are you talking about here? If ex-friend was ever more than a friend. Also, why did Annie walk out crying just because Mia made them breakfast? Opie says Mia is 21. The text I was talking about was, if ex-friend was ever more than a friend, you know I'd still be here by your side no matter what. I'll always love you forever. Apparently that's a freaking lie. You don't love her forever. You just said she's not even your sister anymore.
You're
like, have you talked to her?
Yeah, dude, it feels like this guy is obsessed with trying to out his sister and also trying to, like, downplay the familial relationship.
Yeah. Annie walked out crying because she hates feeling like she's letting me get bullied. Basically, she felt like Mia was pestering me because of her, and she was just letting it happen when she could do something. Another commenter says, info, I feel like this requires more context, like how old your sister is, 21. Another person says, again, a lot of parents can be not closet guard until it involves their family. Mm-hmm. I still think that if you decided to out your sister, you would be the a-hole.
Agreed.
But in this case, your sister is also the a-hole. It's not mutually exclusive. You can all be a-holes.
A-holes on
Little
A-holes.
a-hole
It
family.
runs in the family. Yep.
At 21, she's old enough to know how to behave, even if she's going through an overly horny baby gay phase. Opie says, my parents are not closet guard. My cousin came out as attracted to the same gender 2 years ago, and they were very supportive.
I think it's different than your direct family.
It's so different with your direct family. My mom's oldest brother is also pan. I've been suggested to threaten to out her. Oh, and
Why do you
see if
wanna
she
out
chooses
everyone?
to change her behavior. If not, I should punt her out. Don't threaten to out her. Just threaten to kick her out.
Yeah.
What?
Is this story
What?
done? Are we done?
This story's making me so angry. We're only halfway through. Like, the amount of, like, justification that this guy is going through, like the hoops that he's jumping through to justify outing his sister is
ridiculous.
Crazy. If my parents ask, I'll tell them to ask her. And if she chooses to lie to them and paint us as the bad guys, then and only then will I tell them the truth. Another commenter says, if you out your sister, you're the a-hole. If you don't punch your sister out, you're the a-hole. You're not the a-hole if you throw your sister out, thereby making your home a safe place again for your fiance. Agreed. And don't out your sister to your parents. I suggest that you punt out your sister, and if your parents ask why, tell them that she repeatedly overstepped boundaries and you're done with her disrespect and melodrama. You don't have to give details. You really don't. It's the same thing. I don't understand why he thinks adding, and she's gay, is going to change.
I feel like he feels that's like some kind of smoking gun.
Yeah. He's like, and she's gay. What?
Yeah, I think it's ridiculous.
Hey. You don't have to give details. You're not a child and you can set boundaries with your parents too. Yep. OP says, in any other case, not giving my family details would be fine. But she's supposed to be moving out in a month anyways. And by punting her out, I'd be depriving her of seeing her friends. They're going to want to know why. And if I don't say anything, then I'd be hated or they assume... literally saying the same thing. I know that sounds a-holy, but I'm at a point where my sister is almost like a stranger to me. Okay, this is all the same thing. OP has said the same thing. Everyone's saying you're the a-hole. Okay, there's got to be an update. Okay, here's the last one thing. I never said it's okay to out a stranger. I was saying that I'd rather out someone who I don't know than lose the people I love. You do know her. What? That doesn't make it okay, but it's sensible. You can tell me all you want that you would never out a stranger, but given the choice between outing someone who you have no connection with or losing the people who you see as family, what would you do? She's your sister. What? At this point, Mia is even less than a stranger. That's not true. She's literally your sister and you live with her. What are you talking about? Based off of what she did, at least in my eyes, she's lost the right to expect any sort of leniency from me. However, I have indeed retraced my steps with outing Mia. Before any decisions are made, I'll be talking to Annie because Annie is the victim. Agreed. I agree. Annie is the victim here.
Let's get into this update. This guy is pissing me off.
I got a lot of you would not be the a-hole for punting my sister out, but you would be the a-hole for outing my sister.
Thank God. Please get it through your thick skull.
I accepted it at that point and was going to have a talk with my parents without outing my sister.
But then I really wanted to.
Being especially vague. Then, to my surprise, there was a string of not the a-hole for both. The reason being my sister's behavior was a crime.
Dude.
What? What?
How did you go so wrong?
What?
Let's keep going. Come on.
And needs to be addressed immediately. I decided to just talk with Annie, who was ultimately the victim, and asked her what she wanted to do, with the exception that there was no debating my sister getting the heck out. She said she wanted to tell my parents what happened because they deserve to know. I couldn't agree more, not because, like some of you suggested, I wanted to out my sister for revenge, but because I think part of the blame is on them. Growing up, I was always the smart kid and she was always the social kid. My parents put my education over her events. She couldn't invite her friends over because I was studying. If she was invited to a friend's birthday and I had tutoring around the same time, she would either have to walk to her friend's house, be late, or not even go at all. At some point, they realized how this was affecting her and just let her do whatever she wanted. When I needed it to be quiet so I could study, they would just ship me off to my uncle's house. I didn't mind. My parents would let her do what she wanted, but they still gave me more attention. So yes, like some of you suggested, my sister definitely needs therapy. So we talked to my parents about after we punted her out. We told them what Mia did, and I think my dad believed us, but my mom didn't. This part is now all just being relayed from my parents. They went to my sister, and to my surprise, she came clean to everything.
Oh, finally.
She admitted what she did was wrong, but she couldn't stop herself, and she was so angry at me for getting all the attention all the time. I had all the good things. She didn't. Well, it ended up in shouting matches, and they punted her out. They punted her out of the house, but they moved her into my aunt's. They gave her an ultimatum, either go to therapy or receive no financial support from them, with the condition that if she doesn't start therapy within the next 5 years, they will not be paying for her sessions. I think they should pay either way, but it's their money, so not my place to say anything. By the way, I've got to say, you can listen to full episodes of stories just like this. Just go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or iHeartRadio and search up OK Storytime.
Hopefully the stories are less infuriating than this one.
Do you have any final thoughts?
No, I don't. I don't have any final thoughts. This guy just, I guess she came out to her parents in this way. Did she come out?
I guess
did
he
she-
outed her and then she agreed.
Did he out her?
Yeah, he said he and Annie said this is what's been going on and we think that they said that. They said they outed her.
Mm.
I'm just also going back because I wanted to remember exactly what she did. So all we know is that she openly flirted.
We don't even know what that means.
I just want to say, I want to remind everyone what Annie did or what Mia did. And I want to make it clear that
She
still made Annie very uncomfortable and that's not okay and should be kicked out. But all we know for certain what she did is walk out crying whenever they kissed, cry loudly in her room, and openly flirt with Annie.
And that flirting looked like baking Annie a cake or something or some food, cooking for her.
Wow.
That's what we know. I just want to, absolutely not okay that Mia made Annie uncomfortable. Absolutely not okay. Kick her out.
Yeah.
Kick her out. But does that mean that OP can out her? Anonymous is something else must have happened. It must have, but I feel like OP would have mentioned it, you know?
No,
Openly flirted and made her breakfast. That's all we know.
Yeah.
And he's like,
God forbid someone makes breakfast.
What? What?
Ugh.
What did she do? I mean, I feel like we need to know what she did. We need to know what she did because, right now, I'm looking at all the information we have, and I'm like, what? Yeah, kick her out. Why did you out her?
I think he just wanted to out her.
I think he just wanted. I'm like, everyone in the comments said,
secret.
yeah. Oh, it's Maritza says, don't forget the booty shorts. And again, if she did do something worse, still,
let us know.
Let us know.
Seems like you're so excited to spill secrets. Don't keep this one too close to the chest.
Yeah. I don't understand exactly what. I personally don't think there's really any reason to out. That's the end of that story, folks. And the end of this. There's more. Dang it. I haven't heard from my sister. She texted Annie to tell her she's sorry and asked her to meet up, but she hasn't reached out to me. I probably wouldn't have responded if she did, though. I'll also be looking into getting therapy, even if I'm angry at my sister and never want to see her again. I also feel like I lost her. Yes, Mia was outed in the end, but I think that considering everything, this is the best outcome for her too. Thank you for all the responses.
I feel like Reddit's gonna crucify OP.
Relevant comments say, I feel like you glossed over you punting her out. How did that go down? I think that her texting Annie and asking her to meet up and not including you is a major boundary violation, especially for your fiance who was being spicily harassed by her and she hasn't learned her lesson. Not the a-hole. OP says she didn't want to go. She yelled that this was unfair and didn't deserve this. Then she turned to Annie and asked her what she wanted to do. Annie told her she wanted her to leave and she left quietly. Another person says, 5 years? I think she needs therapy now. 5 years is so far away. It doesn't even mean anything. I'd give her a couple months. Therapists are doing Zoom calls.
Yeah,
OP
it's easy to
says,
get therapy.
My parents mean that she needs to reach out within the next 5 years to get therapy or they aren't paying for sessions. Another person says, to be clear, your parents want her to get therapy for her behavior, not her identity, right? OP says for her behavior. Another person says, I'm curious and nosy. Why did your parents punt her out? Was she refusing to get help or something? Seems like a lot of it was going really positively and then just fell apart. I'm worried that them evicting her as well is then now to her more evidence of rejection and being denied. She needed help, but passing the buck when she has literally said, I feel like I always came second, has been rejected by her crush and infatuation, who again is with you, so another rejection, even though obviously your wife is your wife. But we're dealing with a damaged person here, being punted, outed, and evicted again. That is some serious emotional baggage right now she's trying to deal with. Yes, this is pandemic times, and pandemic rules reign supreme, but foisting her to another relative seems like it would do more harm than good. Also super relevant that they were in the vid.
Yeah.
Because everyone was super, crammed together.
Yeah.
That's true.
OP says, my parents punted her out because she pestered Annie. I don't know why they moved her into my aunt's, though. I'm guessing because they want to keep tabs on her so she gets therapy and doesn't do anything drastic. I hope my sister gets help, but I'm going to be honest, I've decided to stop worrying about my sister. I hope she gets therapy, but what she does or doesn't do is no longer any of my concern. I want to focus on helping Annie and myself. Annie and I have already blocked my sister on everything, and I've made it clear to my parents that if they do anything to reinstall contact between my sister and I won't speak to them again.
And that
Okay.
is the end of that story.
Okay.
All right, let us know what you think about OP. I'm sussed out by OP to a large degree, but
I think he should have just kicked his sister out.
yeah, and not done the whole outing. But hey, Let us know what you think. Put your answers in the comments. This is not just our opinion. This is a conversation. So,
Yep.
But that is where the story ends.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's do one more.
Yeah.
Because
We're gonna give you one more.
my fart.
My
My
fart.
partner.
He said my fart. Okay.
You're such a little sister.
He said my fart. All right, go.
All right. My partner refused a trip I paid for because it made him feel small.
Oh, you made me feel small.
In January, I, 36 female, booked a small holiday together with my partner, 41 male. Everything was under my name and paid for everything. He would pay me his half. 3 months later, he told me he couldn't pay me back anymore and asked me to cancel. By the way, this comes from a HelloCath89. If you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OK Storytime subreddit. So if I canceled, I would get 90% of my money back and 10% would not be refunded. I decided that I would keep the booking and gift him his part because we both needed to unwind a bit. He didn't like it because it made him feel small.
Oh.
I can't take a gift for my girlfriend because I feel like a small little man.
I want to give you a gift. I wanted to pay
Aw.
for it.
That's so lame. You know, my girlfriend is taking me to sandals. Boom. I don't feel small. I feel pampered.
He feels big.
I feel
He
big.
feels big.
That I had to care for him. He told me to just cancel it. I told him that I didn't want to and that it was a gift. He could stay at home, but that I was going. But he could come with me. He told me he would come with me. Today is the day we left for our little holiday. He did come, but is screaming to me that what I did was wrong, that I made the choice for him to get you a gift.
Huh?
But I really didn't. I made the choice for me and invited him to come with me without costs. I really wanted a little holiday, but I regret that he's with me. He's extremely mad at me, is unkind, and only says that I manipulated him to feel small. And well, I just wanted to relax. Am I the a-hole for not canceling?
No, you just want to go on a vacation.
Can I hear a little fragile masculinity?
He's so fragile.
Fragile masculinity.
If you touched him, he'd break.
Yeah. This right here, this is fragile masculinity at its finest.
He's so fragile, if you blew on him, he'd fall apart.
He's so fragile that if you gave him a birthday cake, he said, I can bake it myself. Why are you baking it for me?
And then he
You think
said-
I can't?
And then he
I
said-
could do anything.
And then he said, but I'm not gonna, because it's not manly.
It's not manly,
I'm not
dude,
gonna
but
bake
I
a cake.
could.
I could do it.
But I could.
But I won't.
You're not the a-hole. That's
No.
ridiculous. You have a fragile,
You're the a-hole
fragile
for
man.
not bringing out my
baby.
boyfriend.
Comments, not the a-hole. Did he offer to cover the cancellation fees, or were you supposed to eat that? But no, of course you're not the a-hole. He didn't have to come. Here's the thing. You don't need a vacation together. If he keeps bugging at you, just get your own room and do your own
Yeah,
thing.
man.
Dude sounds like an insecure jackwagon.
Uh-huh.
Agreed. OP responds. He did offer the cancellation fees, but I just didn't want to cancel. I just don't understand why I have to cancel my plans because he changed his mind because he couldn't afford it anymore. He keeps telling me that I'm the a-hole for not canceling because that was the right thing to do, but I'm unable to see why.
She's paying for it.
Why can I not enjoy a few days away after gifting him this? Why was canceling the only option for him? He only wants me to stay home with him. He wasn't all right with him staying home and not coming with me for free, and I can't understand why I should stay home. I wish I could understand his reason, but I can't. Maybe the reason he gave is not the actual reason. Maybe he can't. Maybe he can't afford it, but there's some other reason he doesn't want to go that he's not telling you. Either way, it still feels
not
like
the a-hole.
either he's a fragile masculine man,
Or he's hiding it.
or he's hiding a dirty secrets. What is his dirty secret? What are your secrets? Comment 2. Why did you force something that he had already told you he could no longer afford and did not want to accept being paid for? Don't really understand why you didn't just tell him to pay you back X amount a month until it was paid for. I don't know. I could see.
what?
I feel like that's maybe. I feel like that's a little bit of a different situation. I could see it's like, hey, Sophia,
Yeah.
let's go on a trip together.
Yes.
No. You can't afford it.
No. I can't afford it.
Oh, okay. Sophia, I just surprised you with this. I surprised you with a trip.
Oh my God, thanks.
That's what happened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also he agreed. To be clear, he agreed. And
He
then,
agreed initially, but said the reason was he couldn't afford it.
Yeah, and then she was like, well, I would love to take you.
Yeah.
Let me pay for it.
OP, I gave him the choice to come with me, but that he didn't have to. I didn't force him.
Yeah.
But he did. Yeah. She didn't. She
force
just
him.
basically is like, I didn't want to cancel it.
Yeah, she wants to go. That's
she
her
wa-
point.
she's-
She's like,
she wants
you
to
cannot
go.
I
You
don't
cannot
care.
go.
I'm
And I
going.
don't. Yeah. And she's like comfortable just
Yeah.
eating the cost.
Yeah.
I didn't force him, but he did say it would look bad that I would go on a little holiday
See?
without him.
This is the thing. It's like, it's not that she's saying, oh, he has to come. She's saying, I'm going whether or not he's coming, and he's upset that I'm still going.
My girlfriend is in Italy right now, and that's freaking sick.
That's freaking cool.
That's freaking,
man.
she's so cool. She sends me little pictures
We
of
love
her
it.
doing cool Italy stuff. I love that.
And I give her a recommendation.
And Sophia gave her a recommendation. That is sick as heck. It's not sick as heck if you're a little fragile little baby boy.
Baby boy.
He wanted me to stay home. Comment 3. In what way are you happy with this person in your life? Like, seriously, I want to know, is he super fantastic in bed? Is he curing cancer? I'm out of ideas after that. Not the a-hole, obviously. OP says he was kind to me and loving. Of course, we have arguments because we were both strong-headed, but something changed a few months ago. Uh-oh. Secret. There's a secret. There's a secret. He's actually not insecure. He just has a secret. He has a secret. We bought a house together. I'm regretting that right now. And well, maybe it's stress, but he's mad at everything and gaslights me that I make him feel like he can't do anything right, like still going on the holiday after he told me he couldn't afford it anymore. And we got an update. What is your guess of what's
About
happening?
the secret?
Yeah, the secret.
I don't know. He's cheating.
There's a secret. Yeah, that's a classic one. Come on,
Classic.
come up with something more interesting.
His mother lives in his basement.
All right. He's either cheating or his mother lives in his basement. I think
And
maybe.
feeds him and makes him cakes. And
I
says, come here, little baby boy.
Little baby boy, here's a
let
little
me
cake.
do your laundry.
Yes.
And he goes, Mummy.
Thanks, Mama.
Mummy, don't be noisy.
Don't be
because
noisy. My
then
wife to be will hear.
my wife to be will get up curious.
Get upset. Well, update. I told him we needed a long walk and talk. I won't tell the whole conversation because it was about 2 hours, but basically it was this. Because I have to help him so much, he feels like a failure. Well, that's not my fault, of course, but I did tell him that he needed to do better. Yes, I earned slightly more, but it doesn't add up that I can save money, help him, and pay my part of the bills, and he can't. I did tell him that maybe he needed to quit smoking and drinking because he does that a lot and couldn't tell me on how much he spends on those things. We live life in the Netherlands, so especially smoking is really expensive here, but yeah, it made him feel that he can't do anything right. He felt that my invite to the holiday was a slap in the face because he again couldn't pay for something himself. I told him that it wasn't fair that I had to put my life on hold because he can't budget his money
Literally,
properly.
That's the thing. It's like OP's not even saying like making him feel bad that he can't pay for things or expecting him to pay for things. She's just saying, I'm going to do stuff because I can afford it.
Yeah.
And you can't tell me I can't do it.
Yeah, I'm going to do it anyway. I don't think he's mad that I'm a woman and he's a man or something. It's more that he feels like a failure and needs to react this to others around him. It's sad, but not my fault. I told him that I wanted therapy. He told me once again that he couldn't afford it. So if I wanted it, that I needed to pay for it. Yeah, I don't know. I said that I wanted to enjoy my 5-day holiday and that he could leave if he was going to stay and be a butt. He told me he would man up. We will see. I did tell him that he will never control me, and he promised me that he will never try that. We have an update. He was spying on me while I was reading some of your answers on my phone. He got extremely mad that I shared private matters with strangers on the internet and was lying. I said that I needed some insights on this from strangers. Apparently, it's wrong to ask the internet and to expose a private matter. I don't know. It's not that someone knows what our real names are. I want to thank you all, though, to take time to read my problem and trying to give me advice. We got another update. Question for you guys.
Yeah.
Do you think it's wrong to expose private but anonymous details to the internet?
I think it's great if it's so anonymous.
I think it's okay if it's anonymous.
I mean, that's our whole job, so.
Yeah. We'd be out of a job if
It
that
would be
wasn't
out of a
okay.
job if it weren't okay.
It's fine. You got to sign on for 2 people that have no vested interest
no
in that
bias
being
at
okay.
all. It's okay. Keep sending in your stories.
Update 3. It's 4 a.m. here, and I'm still up talking with him. We are going nowhere. It sounded for a little while like we had figured it out, but then it spiraled back down. I just blank out told him that I wanted therapy. He told me that he was okay with that if I deleted this post and only asked the therapist for help. I said no. I feel like that's a little strong-headed. I think
I think
would.
you could have. I think you could have deleted it.
That I asked you for all the insights. He told me that I just making him look bad on the internet with the lying. I asked him what difference was this with asking you and him calling/chatting a friend. He said he just told one friend and that I exposed him in front of 10,000 people. I told him that you all don't know who I am and that this friend does know who I am. Right now, he keeps telling me that I have to stop writing if I want to save this relationship.
I think that's fair.
I think that's a boundary.
I think that's fair.
I think that's he's setting a boundary. I think that's okay.
I agree. I think for him to say like, hey, please stop writing about this,
Is
I think that's very fair.
Yeah, and if you keep writing about it, I think it's a breach of trust.
I agree.
But I feel that this is very, very controlling.
I don't think so.
Maybe I just am not able to understand why a Reddit post is so much more wrong than telling a friend about a problem.
But I think that you can have that boundary of saying like, hey, can you not spread this information while we're figuring it out with your friend?
Yeah, I think you could do that too.
I think you could do it too.
Maybe this is my shortcoming. I asked him why my needs are worth less than his needs, but he just says that I'm manipulating and a liar and I'm sick of it. He acts like everything is in my head or that I'm lying or trying to ruin his life. I know that my story here is one-sided, but I can't tell on how he sees things because of the simple fact that I'm not him, just like his story to that friend. I asked him to please just behave and let me enjoy the 4 days holiday I've left or to go home, but he told me that he also deserves this holiday and will pay me back everything so that I could shut up with saying that I paid for the holiday and deserve some peace.
You guys need to
I'm almost thinking that I need to call the hotel security to just take him out of this room. I don't know if that feels necessary. This feels like
you guys need to break up.
Spiraling.
Hardcore.
But if I do that, I know that this relationship is over. Yeah.
Whew.
Yo, dude.
I think
it's
when you start thinking about calling this hotel security on your partner, the relationship is over.
Yeah, this is
when you have that thought, it's over.
This is done.
Also, he said, "Oh yeah, you shut up." And blah blah blah. You guys are over.
You guys are over
and out.
Yeah. Update 4. He plays the victim now, keeping his head low and doesn't really talk, like he doesn't dare. I'm not a fool and know that he does this to show that he is just a victim and I'm the meanie. I'm going to take advantage of this and going to do something fun for myself. Thank you for all the advice. By the way, if you want to do something fun for yourself, you should listen to full episodes of stories just like this. Go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or your favorite podcast app and search OK Storytime. I'm going to blast right through this end and get to update 5.
Woo.
He said he was sorry.
He's not.
And that he will go to therapy for himself and for relationship therapy.
What? He could afford therapy this whole time?
Because he was lying. Maybe his friend called him out or he just realized it himself. Everyone is wrong sometimes. I'm also wrong on so many things in life, but everyone earns a chance to learn from mistakes and do better. I want to thank everyone again who gave me advice, both the people who agreed with me and the people who didn't. It gave me a lot of insight about my own behavior, about his, and to watch out for red flags. What our future beholds is still a mystery, but I'm glad that he is okay now to go to the therapist. We can now try to work out better versions of ourselves with the help of a therapist. Okay, I guess so. I don't know, dude.
Break up.
That felt.
You guys are not meant to be together.
I don't know, man. Y'all are very strong-headed people.
Yeah.
Let us know in the comments if you think these two people should stay together or break up.
Yikes.
I think that is where
That's
that story
a wrap, folks.
and this episode ends. Let us know what you think in the comments. If you love us, make sure to subscribe.
We love you.
And see you tomorrow.